Next one is anhydrides. Okay? To make an anhydride, we just saw how to make an anhydride. Carboxylic acid plus acid chloride. We saw it in the acid chloride section. And you can make the anhydride. Now, what can you do with the anhydride? Well, if you add water, okay, again, your OH is going to replace this part of it. Anhydrides confuse people because there's so much of the molecule that you're leaving off. But just think of this as your leaving group. That part of it leaves. You can add an alcohol. Again, put it on pause, see if you can predict what it is. Pretty straightforward. These reactions are all similar. It's just your leaving group changes. And if you add an amine, RNH2, you will form the amide. And that's basically anhydrides. Next are esters. All right. So we've learned to take an acid chloride plus an alcohol. We've learned to take an anhydride plus an alcohol. We've also learned a carboxylic acid plus an alcohol in the presence of acid, in this case, and you can form an ester. So we have 3 reactions to form an ester. Now that you got an ester, what in the world can you do with an ester? Well, you can do a lot. One, you can LAH it with acid. It's a 2-step process to get the alcohol. You can add water and acid and heat to hydrolyze it. Hydrolysis is a special name for breaking a molecule in half and adding water to it. So you can reform your carboxylic acid and your alcohol. Another one is if you take an amide and you heat this, you can form the amide. I'm sorry, an amine, and heat it, you can form the amide. Okay? Another special reaction we're going to talk about is Grignards. You can add 2 equivalents of a Grignard. Let's put a methyl Grignard. It does not have to be a methyl Grignard. It could be any Grignard you want. And what you do is you add Grignard twice to this. So you get an alcohol. You have to work this up in acid. I forgot about that. You get alcohol plus 2 of those Grignards that you're adding to it. Okay? So it happens twice. You get a double Grignard reaction. Let's go over this step by step. Okay? So you have an ester. If you add 1 equivalent of Grignard, let's say 1 equivalent. And it doesn't have to be a methyl Grignard. You can have anything you want there. I'll make that perfectly clear. It could be any R group that you want. Okay? Remember, a Grignard, I'm just doing methyl so that you can see where everything is going. This methyl comes in, breaks your pi bond, CH3, and then this pops down and kicks out your OR group. Now, if you wanted to just add 1 equivalent, you can. This is what the product would be for 1 equivalent. It would be a ketone. Ketone with 1 equivalent. Okay? If you add 2 equivalents, so your second equivalent of Grignard adds, just like how we saw in the last chapter, but you don't have a leaving group now, so it stays at that O negative. You get that second methyl Grignard, and then your second step is always adding acid to protonate your O negative. Alright guys, if I'm going too fast, the whole point is that you can stop this and rewind and re-listen to it again. What I would suggest is just watch it first, don't write anything down, alright, and then write it down the second time once you kind of have an idea of what in the world I'm even talking about. Okay? So 1 equivalent stops at the ketone. If you add the second equivalent, you can go ahead and make the alcohol. So there are 2 possible reactions that you can do.